It's what happens when you're live. So for the next one who walks up on stage. Lucas, hi. Great, thanks. Just a minute. Just a comment. When you walk up on stage with your little cheat cards, please number them. Make sure, otherwise you're going to start by saying thanks and goodbye. Wrong card. Okay, so you say that you're a craftsman, but a very special kind of craftsman. True. I'm a craftsman, a maker, a designer, a manufacturer. Lots of words to define me because I work with conventional machinery in woodworking, but also modern machinery for digital milling, 3D printing, and so on. I essentially make tailored furniture, prototyping, all sorts of objects. So, of course, I use Dassault Systèmes for 3D modeling, virtual rendering, but also tooling and digital milling. So how can you be a kind of man of all trades and then become a digital artisan? Well, I always wanted to understand how things around me were made. I'm a big DIY guy, and I went into engineering, and I thought it wasn't really hands-on enough. So I went to Astrad, which is a design school where I did 3D modeling for digital and physical mock-ups. And I didn't want to be pigeonholed. I wanted to be a man of all trades once again, so I created S-Concept, my business, to work on design, fabrication, and sales. How did you meet Dassault Systèmes? Well, I actually, my first step was a piece of software called Cosmic Blogs. Ah, right. Anyone know? Anyone familiar with Cosmic Blobs? It's not a trick question. Go ahead. Everyone seems to have heard of Cosmic Blobs. SolidWorks for kids, maybe? Raise your hand if you've heard of it. Oh, wow, great. So yeah, Cosmic Blogs was kind of a digital plasticine for kids aged 7 to 14 that was released in 2004. And it's the same as the much more modern version that exists now for kids. So obviously at engineering school I started using proper software such as SolidWorks. I had an internship at Dassault Systèmes lab in Boston where I tried out loads of solutions, and I currently work essentially with SolidWorks as well as Delmia solutions for all the tooling and digital milling solutions, and of course I'm always eager to learn as I go. But to me 3D was absolutely essential, because to be honest, I'm very bad with a pencil. I needed another way to show my ideas to others, and as I was the only one to understand my own sketches, 3D came in really handy. So you worked with Dassault Systèmes on conceptualizing objects. That's the hard facts there. Yeah, the first time I worked for them was for marketing of lexical assessment. That was a few years back, and I was asked to revolutionize baby seats. I was 25 years old, didn't have kids. I wasn't necessarily an expert, but we talked with Dassault Systèmes, and they moved me on to the versatile table. There it is on screen. It can be a coffee table, it can be a high table, it can be a desk, it can be a dining table. Well done. Great, superb table. Can it be an ironing board too? Yeah, V2 soon. And then a new project for Dassault Systèmes for marketing again, which is a bar table. Looks like there are two parts, right? There's a top. Yep, it's modern and traditional. So this bar table was made for Almea's digital milling solutions. It was designed entirely digitally at first with various manufacturing processes. So of course There's the modeling part, volumes, dimensions, materials, and then in the manufacturing process, two parts. First, the craftsmanship, the artisan. This is solid oak. Yeah, definitely is solid. And there's a play button in the middle. So traditional assembly, hand polishing and so on. And the other part is extremely modern with digital milling, with this digitally milled logo. What's this made of, the base? It's MDF. It's tinted, it's dyed MDF. So design, simulation, yeah, so there are a few keywords there for SolidWorks that were milled into that and painted in on the bridge. And you can actually take it apart and ship it in a flat pack. And then accessorization is possible. I don't know if you can see, but there are plenty of little holes in the feet, in the legs, with which you can add accessories. Yeah, you can have hooks for your backpack or little boxes and so on. So it's a perfect mix of tradition and modernity, a lot of 3D printing, but conventional milling too. Looks like you really like tables, Lucas. Tables seem to make sense for you. Tell us about the ecosystem of this bar table and its history. Have we not done that already? Yeah, I think I'm a bit obsessed with the table. Well, it all looks very simple, doesn't it? But the Dassault Systèmes solutions are complex, as we saw with the Renault Group, or even very complex. And there's a bit of a paradox there. It's true, when you're an SME or just an artisan with the Dassault Systèmes, you're a bit taken aback because you can build a rocket with it, but it's not because you can build a rocket that you can't build a table. So, of course, a rocket is rocket science. A table isn't rocket science. And when doing something that's not very complicated, you can have very high-quality model, 3D modeling, and things can be then manufactured very quickly. So it's the perfect solution for me because I have really high quality and then, of course, a lot of savings in terms of time and so on. And some solutions may be very parametric or generative design. The modeling is complicated in itself, and Dassault Systèmes solutions aren't any more complicated than others. So SolidWorks and XR and so on, all of these solutions are fantastic. And like the day before yesterday, I was modeling a table in bed, actually, a coffee table for home, a mix of tradition and modernity with a solid oak plate and a 3D printed recycled plastic base. Do you ever sleep? Not enough, probably. So what's the workflow in the various solutions offered by Dassault Systèmes? Well, my workflow is pretty simple. I start with XApps, especially XDesign, to validate shapes, dimensions, volumes. Then I move on to SolidWorks to go into the finer details, more complex assemblies, and really to focus on every little issue. Then I create plans with a SolidWorks solution that's really fast, and then when I go to the workshop, I have a very simple workflow. I also use SolidWorks visualized solutions to have photorealistic renderings, and with 3D Play and Sharon Markup, I can also send my 3D files to my clients for their approval. And then, of course, if there's digital milling, as was the case on this table, I use Delmia Solutions and Floor Programmer to import that into SolidWorks and prepare and define all of the digital milling tools, and then just go to the machine and press the play button. You're in fact one of the 450 startups recruited by Dassault every year, so you can access software that can allow you to grow, right? true. It's interesting to see that Dassault Systèmes solutions with the 3D Experience platform also can apply to smaller human dimensioned programs. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the entrepreneurial program, but there's also makers and students, and of course the broader startup ecosystem. For all those small companies that don't have that much money when they start off, it's great to see that Dassault Systèmes in its portfolio of solutions has adapted solutions. And of course the benefit is that there's scalability and reliability, viability over time. It's an integrated workflow and it's scalable. You were talking about a coffee table that you took 5 minutes to create and design, but what people need to understand is that it's just the tip of the iceberg, because Dassault Systèmes 3D solutions also create added value in the design, production and marketing phase, and even more so in terms of sustainability and environmental concerns. Yeah, of course, the time saving is essential, but there are 3 more benefits that I have identified. 3D solutions at Dassault allow you to indefinitely modify parameters to adjust not only the design but also the manufacturing process. So it's really flexible for customers, but also for complex specs. And then there's the signaling in manufacturing. It's more than visualization, it's a true digital twin, and that really allows me to fully simulate the definition of digital tooling phases, allowing me to anticipate manufacturing steps and see what's going to happen in real time, identify problems before they happen. So it's a preventative approach, but with a lot of benefits. So time savings in terms of materials, and when you make a mistake, it can be very costly. So a lot of savings there. So it cuts the risk, and it also ensures that the end product is up to scratch, is fully compliant with all standards. And another point that's crucial for me is the integration of digital into craftsmanship today. There's the LCA, the life cycle assessment, to analyze the environmental impact from design to manufacturing to end of life and recycling. And that also helps us to take conscious decisions. You have a little catchphrase, don't you? Yes, I do. The object I want to buy, if it's traveled more than I have in the past year, I find it hard to accept that. But it allows you to make more informed decisions about manufacturing processes, about the manner in which the product can be marketed or distributed, and to be consistent with sustainable development principles. What's your objective in the medium term? Well, I want to continue to grow my business, which is making high-end furniture, handcrafted, but with machine tools and high-tech, but without becoming industrial or mass-produced. So quality items, pretty, functional, with modern know-how and traditional craftsmanship. I promote design that needs to be useful, because there are some glorious tables on which you can't place an object because they're too fragile. So yes, designer objects, yes, of course, 100% made in-house, if possible, with locally sourced materials. And of course, I don't make my own screws, but with Dassault Systèmes software and a bit of ingenuity, you can make furniture with no screws. Which brings us to the end of this interview. A word of conclusion, perhaps. What would you like to share with us, Lucas? I think what I'd like to share with you is that there should be no barriers. Don't think that because you could build a rocket with this software, it's not for you. I'm just a craftsman. This is perfectly adapted to what we do, and it probably is to others. And the maker offering that I was just talking about, which in a single package has a lot of very, very interesting solutions, and it's very affordable, I believe that can really be interesting for makers. I'd suggest they go and have a look. So of course everyone has a different path and follows a different path. And I like reality, and I like reality to become real instantly. I can model in the morning and manufacture in the afternoon with lots of iterations in between. And with the ecosystem and Dassault Systèmes solutions, the platform, it makes perfect sense. The X-Design, SolidWorks, Visualize, NSR workflow to me is really straightforward. And another great benefit is that the limitations of what I can do today are not my digital solutions, I'm my own limits. So it's a bit frustrating, but it allows me to thrive over time. The sky's the limit? Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lucas. Thank you.
All right, so I'm absolutely certain that among you, people are saying, well, maybe it's time that I rehashed my lounge or my office. Anyway, so let's switch to a different galaxy altogether, because we're moving into nuclear reactors. I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our next guest, who will have you look at nuclear differently. I mean, for me at least, I can tell you, it really was a sea change for me. So I say no more. So please, round of applause for David Briggs, Senior Executive Leader for Naria.